Are you looking for the best laptops for college? In this video we will look at some of the best laptops for college. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Apple MacBook Air 13, 2024. The best laptop for college we've tested is the Apple MacBook Air 13, 2022. This 13-inch ultra-portable is super compact, and its battery lasts easily through a full school day. It also provides a fantastic user experience thanks to its sharp, bright display, comfortable keyboard, and gigantic haptic touchpad. Performance is excellent. Apple's M2 SoC has no problem handling general productivity tasks like text processing, web browsing, and even light video editing. Plus, since it's fanless, you won't have to worry about loud fan noise in classrooms and libraries. Port selection is limited, as it only has two USB-C/Thunderbolt 3 ports with support for a single external display. Apple has just released new M3 models that can support two external displays, though that only works with the laptop's lid closed, and the number of ports remains the same. Other upgrades on the new M3 model include slightly better performance, Wi-Fi 6E, and a more smudge-resistant finish on the Midnight model. The M2 model is still available as a more budget-friendly option, getting its price cut by $100. The Apple MacBook Air 15, 2023, is also a good choice if you want a larger display. It's essentially the same laptop with a larger 15.3-inch display and better sounding speakers, but it's more expensive. There's an M3 version of the 15-inch, but Apple has discontinued the M2 model, so you can only get it via third-party sellers, marketplaces, and Apple's refurbished section. Number 2. Lenovo Yoga 7i16, 2024. If you want something less expensive than the Apple MacBook Air 13, 2024, but not overly cheap, check out the Lenovo Yoga 7i16, 2024. This 2-in-1 convertible has a large 16-inch display, giving you plenty of room for side-by-side windows and making multitasking easier. While there's an FHD Plus display option, we recommend getting a QHD Plus panel, which looks sharper and gets brighter to combat glare. Don't worry about battery life, even the QHD Plus model lasts over 12 hours of light use. There's Wi-Fi 6E, a fingerprint sensor, a facial recognition camera, and a wide port selection, including two Thunderbolt 4s and an HDMI. Its Intel 13th Gen CPUs can easily handle general productivity tasks, however, don't expect to do anything overly intensive due to thermal throttling. The webcam's video quality is decent, as the image looks fairly detailed but has an unnatural tint, and the microphone picks up some background noise. Another mid-range laptop worth mentioning is the Acer Chromebook Spin 714, 2024. It's also a 2-in-1 convertible, but it has a smaller 14-inch screen and runs Chrome OS. If you like taking handwritten notes, it supports pen input and comes with a stylus that you can dock into the side of the laptop for transport. Its Intel 12th Gen CPU has more processing than you'd ever need on a Chromebook, but know that Chrome OS is limited in the type of applications you can install, so make sure you can do everything through a Chrome browser or an Android app. Unfortunately, this model is getting hard to find because there's a newer 2023 version, which we haven't tested but expect to perform similarly. The upgrades include faster Intel 13th Gen CPUs and a 1440p webcam. You can see the 2024 model on Amazon and Best Buy. Number 3. Acer Swift 314, 2024. The best budget laptop for students we've tested is the Acer Swift 314, 2020. Acer Swift models aren't exactly considered budget, but because this is an older model from 2020, the price has decreased considerably, making it a great option for those on a tight budget. It's compact and lightweight, and its battery lasts over 13 hours on a full charge. You get a nice FHD IPS display, a decent keyboard, and a wide port selection that includes two USBs, one USB-C/Thunderbolt 4, a full-size HDMI, and a headphone jack. Spec-wise, you can get this laptop with an Intel 11th Gen Core i5 or i7 CPU, up to 16 GB of memory, and up to 512 GB of storage. The Intel 11th Gen CPUs are a few years old but are still adequate for general productivity tasks like text processing, web browsing, spreadsheets, and video playback. Our only major complaint is the webcam's video quality, as the image looks underexposed, and the microphone sounds staticky. Number 4. Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3i Chromebook 14, 2024. The Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3i Chromebook 14, 2024 is the best laptop for students we've tested in the cheap category. It's a great option if you only need a simple device to browse the web and write papers. Its compact design makes it easy to carry around, and its battery lasts about 13 hours of light use. The Core i3 configuration, paired with an FHD display, 8GB of RAM, and 128GB of storage, is regularly on sale for around $400 to $500 on Lenovo's website. There are cheaper configurations, but we don't recommend them unless you have an extremely light workload. As for the user experience, its FHD display looks sharp, gets bright enough for use in well-lit settings, and supports touch input. However, the keyboard feels mushy, and the touchpad is small and sometimes unresponsive. Its 1080p webcam is excellent, which is surprising for a budget-friendly Chromebook. Again, ensure you can do everything through a Chrome browser or Android app, otherwise, it's best to go with a Windows laptop like the Acer Swift 314, 2024, above. Number 5. Apple MacBook Pro 14, M3, 2024. For students in more technical fields and who need a high-performance laptop to run intensive applications, we recommend the Apple MacBook Pro 14, M3, 2024. Like its M2 predecessor, this new M3 model has a sleek, compact design, a sturdy build, and all-day battery life. It provides a fantastic user experience with its sharp mini LED display, comfortable keyboard, and gigantic, easy-to-use haptic touchpad. You get tons of ports to connect peripherals and external displays and an outstanding 1080p webcam for video calls. You also get a fingerprint sensor so that you can log in quickly. Apple's M3 Pro/Max socks can easily handle demanding tasks, making this laptop a great option for students in programming, 3D graphics and animation, or science and engineering. The fans remain quiet under load, so you don't have to worry about causing too much noise in a quiet classroom or library. If screen real estate is more important than portability, you can get the larger Apple MacBook Pro 16, M3, 2024. It's the same device but with better-sounding speakers and a longer battery life. The only downside is its higher price. The Dell XPS 15, 2024, is also a great choice if you prefer or need Windows. Like the MacBook Pro 14, it's a premium model that provides a great user experience. You can configure it with up to an Intel 13th Gen Core i9-13900H CPU and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070 discrete GPU, giving you plenty of processing power for intensive tasks. You can also play more games than on a MacBook because there's a wider selection of Windows games. That said, there are a few trade-offs, like its display's limited 60Hz refresh rate and its terrible 720p webcam. The battery lasts over 11 hours of light use, which isn't as good as the MacBook Pro 14 but still excellent.